British neuroscientist Professor Riddell was recently in the country for a masterclass program held at Henley Business School, South Africa. The focus of the program was on stress resilience and emotional regulation. We caught up with her to discuss the impact of stress on both employees and the business's performance.
Stress is a weird thing. It's like hunger or thirst. So when you get hungry, you do something about it. You eat so that your hunger goes away. Stress is the same thing. The whole idea about stress is to prepare you to work, to be at your best. So if you imagine that we were out in the savannah when the stress reactions evolved, something happened out there, and it could be a wild animal that was coming towards you or a tribe. You'd have to protect yourself. You want to be thinking at your absolute best. So the chemicals that are released in the brain initially make you think better, make you remember better, just give you more options. But if the system keeps running, and this is the problem that we're facing, it's not just a chunk of stress and then it's gone. When we continue to run stress, it doesn't get the chance to go back to normal. And if you do that, then you damage your brain, you damage your heart, you stop people thinking properly. In fact, the brain separates the bit that does the planning from the bit that holds your memory. So you can't remember the things that you need to know in order to plan well. That's when people have breakdowns, and it can be mental breakdowns, or it can be an absolute physical breakdown. So that's the worst thing that can happen. And you see that happening more often in organisations. So from an organisational perspective, the worst thing that happens is you get people failing to turn up to work, you get people who are off work for long periods of time. And then in our stressed environments, there's no capacity to cover for that. So now you put the stress on the people that are remaining, and you can get into a complete cycle of downwards. Well, now I'm stressed, so I'm going to take time off. Quite often now we get organisations coming and asking us for resilience training. Now, as a psychologist, the definition of the resilience that we use is the ability to bounce back from trauma. And so what organisations are basically saying to us is, can you come and teach our people to be able to bounce back from trauma? Now, the only reason they'd want us to do that is that if they want to traumatise their people and then wait for them to be bounced back, that seems to me the completely wrong position for an organisation to take. So I think the responsibility is at the hands of the organisations and the leadership to say, at what point is this too much for people? And I would say that one of the most underestimated and maybe forgotten skills in leadership is the ability to prioritise. How can our leaders help us to prioritise better so that we have enough to do and we can do it well, rather than always feeling as if we're running to catch up with the next job?
What's up? My name is Christopher Jafta and you are watching Joburg Today. Boom!